There are thousands of DOS games. Most of them are terrible. I play one selected at random with a 20-minute time limit and record it live. This is the result. And welcome to Sim Earth, the living planet. And we've got a lovely little tune here to welcome us to the game. And I have never played this before. So, welcome to Sim Earth. This is the help window. This could take a while, so let's set a timer. 20 minutes. This is the help window where you get useful information. Behind this is the map window showing you a typical planet. To get a closer view of the world, open the edit window, go to the Windows menu and select edits. Okay. Let's give it a go, huh? See what happens. Is that the close thing? Yes, it is. So, select new planet to start. Use new planet, rather. New planet. 1 year on Venus. Earth days. We'll just continue. That was the copy protection. Let's have an easy game. We get to select the planet in question. And the music is deafening me here, so I'll turn that down. Let's try and go to aquarium. So, timescale, evolution. What the? Okay. Speed is fast at the minute. We want slow. We want to slow down. So, the problem is there's no continents. This world cannot develop civilization without fire, which can only be done on land. Water creatures can become civilized, but need access to land. I think I see the problem here. So, we need to create land. The easy way is to use the set altitude tools. So, let's just pause that briefly. Read this. The most subtle method is by manipulating the geologic model. So we can either set the altitude, use volcanoes, a volcanic eruption from the water to create land, or manipulate the geologic model. Make sure you keep plenty of shelves in your oceans. Okay, most sea life lives near the surface, so we don't want to destroy the entire oceans and ruin the biodiversity. Okay. Notes. Aquarium is a good starting place for people who like to design their own continents. What if I just want to focus on fjords? Oh well. So, we've got our terrain map here. Alright. So that's basically the map, the sort of auto map going on there. And we have our lovely aquarium full of little fish. What did that do? Mollusks. No animals. Radiates. I'm just holding that down. And it's showing me arthropods, yes. So I guess I better figure out what each of these tools does. That looks like terraforming. Let's have a look at the auto map briefly, and then we'll check out the menu, and then we'll check out the buttons in the aquarium. Geosphere. So it has a geospheric model of some sort, showing continental drift rate, core formation, meteor impacts, and also you can change that, presumably. So say core formation, we can turn that up. Right, so you can change the model of how the planet is formed. Even the axial tilt. Good lord. That's a lot of detail. Then we've got our hydrosphere. What did I just do? This is one of those where am I going lower each time or something? I don't know what's happening there. Ocean temperature, right? It has a map of the ocean currents. Okay. We can change the atmospheric model in the map. The biosphere model. And last but not least, the civilization model. But we don't have civilization because it's 8.2 million years. So we'll clear that. Current vectors, so there's continental drift. And by clicking on edit, you get to the aquarium. What does the globe button do? It shows where you are position-wise in the planet. Okay. Let's hit the geosphere button and we'll just have a look at the menu, I think. So you've got your options to take a snapshot of the planet, file, load, save, the usual quit. Windows, we can edit the windows to our liking and we can load up specific windows. Gaia, I'm alive. You don't look too happy about being alive, Gaia. That's unfortunate. History. Oh right, so it's like a kind of, you can see the graph and how the sea temperature increased and that created life or whatever. Okay. And obviously because I started fast, life has already evolved to a degree. Report. So there was no civilization, and then apparently an arthropod has a 78 IQ. Now that doesn't sound right to me, but maybe it's relative IQ. Current task, discover fire, which would be a bit difficult as the situation is pointed out to us. It's a bit difficult when you're surrounded by water. But we're not worried about that right now. Hey, there's a tutorial. Maybe I should follow that. Oh, good lord, that's a lot of reading. I'm not adverse to reading, but, you know, it would make for very boring watching, you know. 20 minutes of James reading a tutorial. Truly exciting stuff for YouTube, you know. Yeah. That's nice though. They've left that in there so that I'm not going to be confused. It also has that Mac thing where if you click on a window, oh, there it goes. So if you click on a window, it sort of goes away, but sometimes it stays. I don't know what's going on there. Glossary. So we know exactly what that is. Tells us the various names and their definitions. So we've had a look at the models already. That's that stuff there. The graphs, we've got air sample. What does that do? Oh, right, it's the air composition, of course. This is very ambitious. Look at this. I mean, I'm not even playing. I'm just observing the system in place. And you can see we've got plenty of that underwater stuff going on, but we've nothing land-based because we ain't got no land. All right. What about technology? The fish have no technology. I am unsurprised by this. So we've got options, go to events. That didn't seem to do anything. So, oh right. So that option will, if something happens on the Earth, it'll immediately zoom to it, presumably. Update background, compress edit screen. What does compress edit screen do? Not a clue. Music sound effects are on. Auto scrolling, always a nice feature. Save options, Windows. We've got our speed, which we looked at. You've got a relative or absolute date. Wow. It's so many options. So many options. Almost overwhelming. So let's have a look at our aquarium. You know, I'm probably going to run out of time before I even play this. This is the sort of game that you would spend hours on. You know, it's by Maxis. It's by the people who made SimCity, you know. So that looks like terraforming. What happens if I click there? Oh, we have some land. Sort of. We are creating... It's like Populous almost. We're sort of terraforming the land. And that's interesting because the game actually allows you to terraform the land even though it's paused. So you can sit quite happily making your continents and designing things and not worry about like events occurring or things, you know, spiraling out of control. Interesting. I think that's basically my review of this. Like I said, I've never played this, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is interesting. This is intriguing. But it's like, you know, taking a teaspoon to an ocean, trying to do like a 20-minute sort of capsule review of SimEarth. There we go. So, this I've seen in SimCity. I've played SimCity and SimCity 2000. Natural disasters exist, and we can inflict them upon our lovely little fish if we want. I don't think we will. I mean, okay, we'll inflict one. Oh no! A tidal wave in an almost entirely oceanic world. No! Whatever will the fish do? Okay. What is this hand? Well, that made a nice noise. Oh, you can pick up fish and be like, go here. That's nice. What is this? We can make some grass. And there's a little sound. So there we go. Our first continent of sorts. And boreal. We'll have a bit of boreal stuff here. It's all top down by the looks of things. There doesn't appear to be a sort of isometric view like SimCity 2000. It's top down like the first SimCity, which is fine. You know, there's no great disadvantage to being top down. It sort of went out of fashion a bit as the years went by with these sort of games. And we can, yep, that's the zoom function, so we can actually see. So no animals there because time hasn't passed. We'll get on that in a minute. So, right. This is the filter. You can filter out life. We've had enough of life, you know. And we can clear events off and so on. Heat map, yes. Some sort of heat map thing going on. Rainfall, winds, you get the idea. So now that we've made our little continent, we'll go slow speed and see what happens. There's our tidal wave. There we go! We did it! Insects have evolved. Success! And they've got their own theme tune. Listen to those insects go. Yeah! Well done, insects. Warning, mass extinctions are occurring. Aww. Those poor guys. So if we hit the speed and go to pause again, there was a life button, wasn't there? Biodiversity. No, that's the biosphere model, James, you idiot. This is all the modeling stuff. That's not what I wanted. Now, how did I do that before? See, this is a problem. I can't remember. But there was an option. Life forms. Life form graph. Oh no! We had insects, but I think our insects died out. That's unfortunate. So they came, they saw, and they most certainly did not conquer. They were just a bunch of insects in a sea of fish. Let's go back to slow. I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm fine with that, you know. It's an intriguing sort of game. More mass extinctions. Also, what is this? Is that the altitude? What? This action exceeds your energy budget. Please wait for more Omega energy to accumulate. So you have a limited amount of stuff that you can do. And then you've got this energy thing that accumulates over time. Yeah. Again, intriguing. But not... I'm also struggling a little with this map system. The auto-scrolling wasn't doing much there. So the keys aren't doing anything, and I could scroll that way. Alright, you have to go to the very top of the screen in order to scroll. You don't scroll, there's no edge scrolling on the map. So you go to the top. And I'm sure some Simurf people are looking at me and thinking, why is he just observing the mechanics of the game? Why isn't he interacting more with it? And truth be told, I don't know what I'm doing, and that's okay, you know. Does scrolling take Omega? It doesn't appear to. So let's speed things up a little bit. Not much going on. The fish are just doing their thing, you know. And the goal, obviously, is to, you know, create land and... what is that? Grassland, right. The grassland is thriving and it's taking over the arboreal land. Nice. So the grass will grow. We are literally watching grass grow. Is that continent getting bigger, or is it... you know, it's probably way too small for our purposes, and I guess that's okay. You know, can we... yeah, exceeds energy. Okay, we need 50. There we go. Why watch grass grow when you can do it yourself? It's not the most exciting of videos, I have to say. But what it has done is it's completely sucked me in. And I might not be actually doing anything, I might just be watching the clock run down. But I think if I went and I looked at the tutorial, you know, and really invested some time and some energy. Oh look, some natural disasters. Yes, invested some time and energy into it, and really had a look. Yeah, this holds up quite nicely. Obviously the graphics aren't, you know, tremendous or anything, they're very of its time, but the overall interface and so on, you know, we've been using windowed operating systems since the late 80s, I believe, maybe a little earlier even than that. I'd say mid to late 80s, and for the most part this whole mouse movement, having windows carry on, hasn't changed, you know. And I can see any sort of fan of like those sim games picking up Simurf and being like, hey, this is fascinating, you know. And it is. And it's not just me sort of trying to tell myself that and be like, oh, you know, because I barely scratched the surface of this. But it's calling to me. I don't know how to best put it. Sometimes you get a game and you can feel it like trying to sort of suck you in, to draw your attention in. And despite the limited graphic palette and sound and so on, it looks exceedingly detailed and intriguing. And I think if I had more time with it and read the tutorial and read the manual and so on, this sort of real-time God game of sorts would really appeal to me. So, wholeheartedly recommended, I guess. Oh, there goes my alarm. I was waffling so long I didn't even notice. Yeah, I'd recommend it to fans of those sort of strategy games. If you've controlled a city in SimCity, then give controlling an entire biosphere, an ecosystem a go, an entire planet. Give it a try. For people who like those sort of dry sort of simulation games, and in particular Maxis games, you get a lot of joy out of this, I think. I think it would be very, very interesting. And if you want to see me sort of not scratch the surface of exceedingly complicated games, feel free to check out my other videos. I do hundreds of them, and if you like what you see, feel free to subscribe.